Guys, welcome back to Aggression Talk, episode 67. You're probably like, where's the Raw Car Talks? Where the fuck are you? We're in Miami. You guys know if you've been following me. I've been here for the past 3 weeks. We moved here. I think it's the best place to take these Aggression Talks if I turn them into a more professional interview where I talk to entrepreneurs, people in the personal development space, people that have had an impact on me, people that are killing it in the marketplace. And the Raw Car Talks are still gonna be there. I'm still gonna post them weekly, but I think it's gonna be the absolute best way for me to provide more value to you guys, to do it more professional like this. So we're gonna jump into it. If you're new here, we always talk about improving your mindset, building muscle, and making more money, just becoming the ultimate version of you that's possible. And today I'm joined by my friend, my brother, Jared Robinson, AKA The Don. If you guys have been following me for a while, I've talked about him a bunch of times. Started in an agency, making lots and lots of money. I think he did over $10 million in revenue last year for his brands. Absolute killer. He's literally like a ghost. Some people you'll see, they have a massive personal brand. Jared just moves in silence. He gets work done and has a lot of things that I really, really look up to him for. So without further ado, we're going to jump into this podcast. That was sort of my introduction of you, bro, but kind of go ahead and tell the audience, like, who you are. Like, how would you describe Jared Robinson?
Yeah. Thank you for having me, brother. I just want to address the audience right here and say we actually ran this yesterday, and I was way too much of a pussy on camera. Me and John Mark watched the footage back and figured we'd send it again. So I'll give a quick introduction of myself. Jared Robinson, started doing e-com when I was like 13 years old. Failed a fuck ton. Moved out of my parents' house when I was like 18, moved to Atlanta in the ghetto. John Mark knows. Shared like a 3-bedroom house with like 4 or 5 guys. Split rent with one of my friends from high school. Started working at St. Potential as like an operator or operations manager about 2 years ago. Ripped that up, and then within probably 3 or 4 months, somehow, some way, I was making 15, 20K a month doing the same type of role for 3 or 4 brands around Atlanta. And then called my now partner Carter, said, yo, drop what the fuck you're doing, come to Atlanta right now. And we ripped it up, bro. We were making more than fucking doctors and lawyers within about 60 days, and shit, now we're here.
All right. So you know this. I feel like everywhere on social media you're seeing, oh, and there's another 21-year-old millionaire.
Oh, yeah.
There's another Iman Gadji reel with
I've had enough of these fucking faggots.
The black Rolls Royce, right? But in what way can you talk to the audience and like tell like my guys, like what is Jared's story? Because you just said, okay, within 60 days, me and Carter, your business partner, we're making more than doctors and lawyers, right? But everyone hears that. Like, take us back, bro. Like what changed from when you got that first offer to work for Jagger with St. Potential?
Yep.
Making like what, $1,500? Even though you were worth way more than that. Like back when you were living in what street?
Off Cleveland Ave.
Off Cleveland Ave. Like what switched? Like walk us through like the growth from a boy to a Don.
Yeah. So I started out, like you said, with Jagger. I was making like $6K a month at a high income job in Atlanta. Jagger called me and said, yo, I'll pay you a $1,500 a month retainer if you come on. And
what were you doing?
So I was working in fine dining.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was working in fine dining. I was making good money for, I think I was 18 or 19 at the time.
Yeah.
I had just moved out, and basically Jagger offered me a role where I would be making essentially less than what my rent was. Mm-hmm. I called my dad. My dad was like, absolutely not. And I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna send it. So I sent it.
Why? Why
big
would
balls.
you go? But what made you go from 6K? Like, UK, you had big balls, but like for what? Like, what did you see?
Fuck a job.
Okay.
Fuck a job.
So it was just for the freedom.
Yeah, bro. I knew. Like, I told my dad this. My dad was like, don't take it. And I told my dad, the door is open. The door is open just a crack. And I'm going to kick the fucking door down and burn down the entire house. That was my plan. And it worked exactly how I thought it would.
So you knew that 1,500 was just
that was all I needed, bro.
You just need to get your foot in the door?
All I needed was opportunity. I knew it was over after that. And I knew. So I came into St. Potential and I ate fucking shit for probably 6 months before I started making more money than that.
Like, what is eating shit? Like, what did you do?
Picked up his fucking mail. Fucking was this goddamn bitch, drove his car to the fucking valet spot so he could get out of the elevator. It's like, bro, these kids have egos, and you all want to come on the internet, and you think you fucking deserve it so fast. It's like, bro, I moved to Atlanta with no fucking money and worked 3 jobs 38 days straight after moving into the place I was living, and then quit those jobs after I was already living comfortable to make less money just for the opportunity, and I still ate shit. Yeah. It's like, you have to fucking go through that and be willing to fucking sacrifice. And it was the perfect choice. I made the right decisions every single time because I knew after those 6 months were up, Jagger saw I was a fucking demon. There was nobody who was going to outwork me. And then, like I said, 3-4 months after that, I was doing the same shit for 3 to 4 other brands, making like 15, 20K a month. Called Carter, and then I guess where the story goes after that is he had one profitable dropshipping store at the time, and he also had a high-paying job in sales.
And for them, Carter's your business partner.
Yeah. Carter's my now business partner. So funny enough, me and Carter actually grew up in the same hometown, but we never knew each other. We never spoke. And then we just got put in an e-com group chat with a bunch of brokies at the time. We were all poor.
You were in a group chat with Charlie Morgan, right? Back when he was before he was Charlie Morgan. If you guys know Charlie Morgan, that's crazy. That's come a long way. We'll dive into who Carter is, but I want to relate like something that you guys probably don't know. That's how me and Jared actually got connected. Yeah. So Jagger, super cool guy, owner of a clothing brand called Saint Potential. Back in 2020, they were ripping the mesh shorts. They were just going absolutely nuts. Dude's, millionaire.
Had over 100 million impressions on our ads.
Yeah, absolutely insane. But the thing that's crazy is he gave Jared that opportunity to work for him for way less than Jared was worth, let alone what he was making. Because if you're making $6K working in fucking food, imagine how much money you can, make in the marketplace if you apply yourself. Yeah. I actually got that same offer from Jagger because I knew Jagger through a mutual friend when I was in middle school, hung out, made a connection, lost connection with each other, and he saw that I was actually starting my own business. So he reached out to me and he was like, hey dude, I see you're starting your business, that's super cool, yada yada. And at the time I was just in-person personal training, trying to start drop shipping stores, trying to just like sell products that I knew nothing about, right? Just wasting my time, but I was learning and I was beginning to understand how much just reps it took to just get good, just to get proficient. It took hella reps. And Jagger ended up giving me that same opportunity.
Yeah, the
$1,500.
Yeah, $1,500. It's turned fucking 2 dudes from broke to
7 figures.
Yeah, 7 figures now. It's like bro's the fucking greatest talent scout on earth.
For sure. And I want to jump back into you, but I want to just say just for them so they can understand what Jared says about picking up his mail, I was doing the same shit. Yeah. I knew, mentally, I already could have been making money online, but I wasn't in the right vessel. Warren Buffett talks about, it's not about how hard you row, it's about what boat you're in, right? I was in the wrong boat and I was rowing hard as shit, but the same thing, I saw a crack in the door and I saw an opportunity to get my foot in the door. And I left my job that I was doing in-person training that I was learning good skills with because I knew that if I could learn from somebody, see how a boss actually moves and just get around his network, that was all I needed. And that thing, bro, I was fucking moving for Jagger. He was having parties and I was cleaning up his parties afterwards, sweeping the fucking floor while they went out to the club. And in the moment, I hated that shit, and I was mad, and I was like, I'm worth more than this. Yeah. I didn't understand Jagger was in that position because Jagger had already made the sacrifices. Yep. Right? My dumbass felt entitled for something that I hadn't put in the work to get yet. So that $1,500 me and Jared both got, which to some of you guys, if $1,500 is a lot, I promise you, when you're working 12 to 14-hour days for someone else and seeing how much money they're making, it's nothing. Yeah, $1,500 a month as your only income. But that opportunity right there led to us being able to do what we do now.
100%.
My audience knows what I do. I help take guys to the absolute next level through their habits, through their mindset. But what do you do, bro? Okay, e-com agency, you're making, 100K days. What do you do?
Yeah, so a lot of people ask this, and like you said, I'm a fucking ghost. So everybody, even from our hometown, nobody has any fucking idea what I do. But so I guess the easiest way to explain it is, it started out as an agency. I was offering services, done-for-you services. And then we quickly realized that like that's not what we wanted to do. We didn't want to get into a sales game. We wanted to build companies. So we kind of switched over to like more of a baby private equity approach. We're still selling kids, but actually building businesses on the back end and creating real systems. Our goal is to build up like an actual private equity portfolio and then eventually exit. And then now the reason that I'm on this fucking podcast in the first place is because the idea is if we can funnel as many brands down and get our eyes on as many brands and as many operators as possible, we're going to be able to find those people who would take the same $1,500 opportunity that we did. And we're going to know, bro. It's like we talked about yesterday. There's a look in a motherfucker's eyes where you can know if they're real. If I get on a call with a kid, he could be doing 30K, he could be doing 100K, or he could be doing nothing. I can tell immediately if they have that fucking look in their eye. So yeah, that's the main reason what we do now. Yeah, I guess to sum it up, we're trying to get into the private equity world, and instead of offering services, we're going to take more of a consulting role and then offer all of our resources and try to funnel as many people through and then acquire brands, either acquire majority stake, actually acquire the entire brand, just purchase the whole brand, or acquire a minority stake and let that operator do their thing.
Yeah. So building on top of that, what do you think about, because there's a massive divide that I see in the marketplace of all the people, because we know like attention's the new currency, right?
100%.
Attention is currency. You can suck ass. And I've heard Hermosi say this before, and he's like, the great thing about advertising and the great thing about content is that your product can suck, you can suck, and your business can suck. But if you know how to advertise, if you know how to market, you'll continue to make money, right? So there's a lot of dudes out there that are making money, and it seems like they know what they're doing. I always have way more respect for a motherfucker. Like, there's not anyone who's my age who has 8,000 followers closing in on 6 figures a month, right? And people are like, how the fuck do you do that? Because I actually know the business systems, and 100%. I'm not just focused on going viral on TikTok like a dumbass, right? So it's like you've got like 2K followers, not even, so nobody would even know, and you're out here just like fucking ripping. What would you say to like the kid who understands, like he doesn't want to be a dancing clown for the algorithm, but he thinks that that's what it takes, as someone who's understood how to make money just by learning business?
Yeah, bro. You know me. I'm fucking absolutely sick and tired of seeing these broke faggots ripping up courses, bro. I know you, and I know your service delivery, and you know me, and you know my service delivery. We're not fucking dancing clowns to the algorithm. We do real business. That's the fucking tagline of my business. Real brands, real businesses. I fucking hate that shit. So yeah, learn real business principles. That's also what John Mark's preaching to all of his guys, and that's what I'm preaching to all the brands that I'm working with. It's like these kids are asking me how to go viral. It's like, bro, why do you want to go viral? Like, do you want to be in the penthouse being the cool guy, or do you want to own the fucking building?
For sure.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that.
And I think it's hard too, because it's like when you see, like, even as a young man, it's like when you think about it, like, it's wired in our brain to be like, fast car, hot lady, and, penthouse, that's sick. I want that. Whether you see the guy who it's like, he moves like a boss, but like you don't really know. But he's actually the one who's actually printing money. And it's hard to, in the beginning, be attracted to that. But like, here's my thing. Let's debate about this. Let's get upset with each other, because
we can roll right here on this floor. I don't give a fuck.
That's how we meet. We'll instantly start like an MMA match. So in a world, bro, where I believe, and I preach all the time, we were talking about this before the podcast. It's not about how, it's about who, right? And you've become the man who can just continually generate money. Like 100%. Most of these guys, like if they stop posting, they stop making money. I can stop posting now. It's in my best interest to keep posting, because it's going to bring me more leads, but I can stop posting and I'll still have deals come to me because of the amount of value that I'm providing to 100%. My current clients, and just the amount of value that I've given out in the past. I've built that through daily habits, daily routines, and a marketplace full of morning routines that are 5 hours long. Right now, mine is just a quick process, the 5-4-5 method that gets me on track, gets me in the state that I need to be, because I need that to hold me accountable. 100%. But you're a motherfucker who, like, you'll get 1 hour of sleep, wake up, take an Adderall, drink a coffee, and just like throw in a Zen, which is completely opposite to me. And you'll rip on your desk for 12 hours, not sleep, and then eat maybe one meal.
100%.
To me, I'm like, how the fuck do you do that?
It's like Andrew Tate says, 15 coffees.
Yeah.
Bring me a fucking coffee. Yeah.
So okay, how did you become the man who actually had control over your circumstance, who could actually like command what you wanted and provide value to the marketplace and move like a boss? How did you build good habits financially?
Yeah.
To where you were valuable without like getting your life? Like, where did that come from?
Hard shit. I mean, you know this. It comes from going through hard things. Like, I kind of grazed over it in the beginning, talking about, you know, like the humble beginnings, moving to Atlanta, being poor.
Dive in.
But, bro, it got rough, man. Like, I don't think a lot of people understand, like, and like, it's like what I was telling you earlier. When you look at someone's eyes, you can tell what they've been through. And I know what you've been through, and you know what I've been through. It's like, just know if you're out there, whatever you're going through, there's people going through the same shit, and there's also people going through a lot worse.
And they're still balling.
Yeah, and they're still
making it
balling.
happen.
And it's also like, I'm happy all those things happen to me. Like, all the trauma and all the bad shit that we had to go through, it's like, what the fuck would I be if I wasn't this? I'm happy.
It builds you. What you think is burying you is actually planting you.
100%,
Right? And you can't grow without being planted. So it's like all these things. I even say, I'll look back to like the worst moments of my life.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, bro, I don't think I'd be where I am if that didn't happen. It's a
100%.
fucking blessing. So why don't, I feel like, what's the best piece of advice you can use to like, now I'll go through something, and in the moment it's hard unless I extract and look down at myself and be like, okay, how is this going to build me? How do you think people can frame their mind so that when they're going through the shit, like you said, like when they're going through the struggle,
Yeah.
they can actually think, okay, this is just building me. This is just setting me up for that success. Like, do you have a story that you can relate to? Like back when you're sleeping on a mattress in the, you know, in zone 6 with like a duffel bag of like cash and that's like all the money that you fucking had. Like,
Yeah, bro. I mean, it's like, I feel like the reason that I got the mindset that I did was because I took the risk. You know, getting a little bit fucking gay here, but I got my heart broken as like an 18, 19-year-old right out of high school, which all of you young men out there watching this, you've all been through it. And I'm so happy that that happened to me, bro. Because then I just fucking sent it, bro. I moved out. I had no money, no job. Well, I had some money, but yeah, got the fuck out of the house, jumped off the porch, and became a fucking man. That's what I think it comes down to. You have to like, there's something in your mind that has to change. Like, move out of your parents' house, move out of your hometown, go get some fucking money, buddy. Like, get off the fucking couch, take an Adderall, drink some fucking coffee, and get to fucking work. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
and I know you want me to go in more depth than that, but my brain is a little bit of a fucking retard brain. It's like, bro, there's work in front of me. I'm going to do it. I'm not the type of person to make a fucking to-do list or push some shit off for tomorrow. It's like, I need it done right fucking now. Like, if it's on my to-do list, it's done today. It's not getting done tomorrow. I don't give a fuck if I have to wake up for a meeting at 8 a.m. the next day and it's 3 a.m. now and it's going to take me 3 hours to do what the fuck I'm about to do. It's getting fucking done. And I think the reason is, it's like, bro, we go through hard shit. You have to be a hard motherfucker when you come out of that shit. Like, a lot of these people, you're watching these YouTube videos, like, get some real life experience. Go get in the trenches, bro. Like, get some fucking money. Like, and stop having a fucking ego thinking that you're gonna get rich just by like playing on your phone online. Like, you need to be sending it. We're in here right now with one of John Mark's high ticket clients, and this kid is a killer, bro. He's sending like an offer, making content, running TikTok shop. It's so refreshing to see someone. He's also, what did he say? He's leasing cars for his uncle as well.
Yeah.
Bro, send it, dude. Like, get the fuck after it. Be a grown man. Yeah. Like, yeah.
I know too many guys that, and I've been in that mindset before where it's like, you're not willing to take the risk, but it's a delusion, because the risk that you take, the magnitude of the risk that you take, just like will equal the magnitude of the skills that you build, right?
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, well, what if this happens? What if I move out and I lose all my money? Well, guess what? You either adapt or you die. So you're gonna figure out how to get some shit moving. And if you didn't move out and take a risk, you never would have built the skill.
Yeah.
Most of the time, the most important skills are built out of necessity. And there's so many fucking kids who they want to get rich and they want to have financial freedom, right? But they're not willing to take risks. you're never gonna build the skill. You can have a straight up materialistic mindset. You'll realize that fades, right? There's only so much a Lamborghini can bring you. There's only so much like money can buy, right? You'll understand that like pursuing your passion, providing value, working, and spending time with people that you love is actually what fulfills you. But in the beginning, you have to have those goals. Like if you're a man, you're not gonna not think about the Lambo, right? That's completely normal. But you're never gonna build the skill that allows you to get there unless you fall on your face. The more times you fall on your face, the more times you get sliced up and you bleed, the more you understand how to sew yourself back up with the stitches, right? The stitches, you putting yourself back together is the skill that you need. You can't cross $1 million without a certain amount of skills, right? Jared could sit here and lay out a exact roadmap to a 6-year-old of exactly how to make money. But if they haven't been through the mental frameworks that it takes to like stay up all night, building SOPs, learn how to communicate with manufacturers in China and actually run the game and have both of them communicate with each other when you've built rapport with one so that you can get a better rate, right?
100%.
The only way you got there was getting fucked over by manufacturers a bunch of times. So like, but what experience led you to being willing to take the risk? Because I mean, it's not no dude wants to go from okay, I'm making $6K working at a restaurant to like let me make $1,500 and move in fucking where I'm hearing gunshots all night long and like sleeping on an air mattress and like doing like where did you build that necessity? Because there's a lot of kids. You might be 25 and you just got out of college and it's like you have a nice job set up for you, but it's not fulfilling you and you know that you're meant for more.
Yeah,
but you have no necessity. Where does the necessity
I think it was that.
come from?
I think that gave me an idea. I didn't know how I was going to answer that question, but I think it's exactly that. I think it is. Everyone has that little voice in their head that's saying you're meant for more. You're meant for more. It's not putting that voice down. It's making it louder. It's like I know everybody has that voice. Everybody thinks that they're special at something. Everybody wants the Lamborghini, but like society is telling all these people to like push that down. Me and you both know this too from our hometown. It's like the response you get when you start making money, it's like the jealousy is constantly wanting to push you down. And I think if you have that voice in your head and if you do feel like you have something special, there's nothing more special about me and John Mark than there is from you. The only thing is we just believe it more than you do.
And we took the risk.
Yeah, and we took the risk.
You might have more potential, more skill, and more capability. But at the end of the day, if I'm willing to bleed more than you're willing to bleed, I'm going to get there every time.
Yeah.
Now, if you're willing to bleed the same amount as me and you have more potential, you're limitless, right? And I think that there's a lot of kids who they just completely waste their potential because there's never a necessity to bring it out. Because they can do the bare fucking minimum and just make 6 figures maybe later on, graduate from college, have a family, but then they realize that they hate the situation they're living in and it's too late.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, what do you think is like an experience that you had like when you realized, okay, this skill set is worth it? Like the pain that I've gone through is worth it. Are you just every day like a gratitude type of person, or is it like back when I remember, you know, when you did like 100K in like a few hours with Yell Yard? Like what? Like was that a moment where you're like, fuck all the like? Because there's a bunch of kids out there that they're like, oh, I don't know if I'm willing to sacrifice this stuff. Like, can you talk about a moment that made you be like, dude, I'll do it all over again 5 times if I have to?
Yeah. I think that probably happened maybe the first. There's 2 big things that happened right around the same time when I kind of had that like holy shit moment. Last year around July, we partnered with a brand that was doing like 20K a month, small brand. And then we launched another brand from scratch. And then that Q4, those 2 brands went fucking ridiculous. Like one of the brands did over $1 million in a month that Q4. And then the other one, we were doing like $250 to $300 a month in a brand we had just started from scratch. So I think like right around that time, that was when we were in Canton together. Like you could kind of see in me, there was something that happened. Like I was completely detached from money. And I just realized, like, holy fuck, this is literally just a math equation at this point.
This dude's making like hundreds of thousands of dollars still driving. Like, what were you driving? Like a Corolla? Like, what the fuck? He got himself like a $16,000 Camaro, and he's like, no, this is my car. I'm like, dude, fucking buy yourself some shit. But he doesn't care.
Yeah, I really do not get.
And I'm envious of that, bro, because I like stuff. Like you would never fucking know. And like Jared just like doesn't. Jared doesn't care. Jared just like does it.
Yeah, I do the shit for power. Not for money.
So what is like when you're having? Because I remember that video of Jagger's there, Quan, Raw, and everyone the Shopify notifications. It's like ding 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 ding, like going off. Like what is that from a brand? Because Yell Yard, they already had the attention, right? Quan's massive and Raw massive. They're big in the Atlanta space, right?
Yeah.
They've got the attention.
They didn't know what the fuck
But their
they were doing.
brand making like $16. Like how do you go from that and then like boom, insert Jared.
Yeah.
Now we do $100,000 on a drop.
Yeah,
Like
so-
talk to there might be e-com people out there. Like
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
the process of doing that?
So I'll talk to you guys out there. So just for them specifically, they didn't really know what they were doing. Obviously, they know social media. They know how to garner attention. But yeah, me and Jagger, we came in and we had the drop within 4 weeks. So with Yo Yard, we did everything from sourcing the product, getting it made. We planned to
What did they
fucking...
not? What did they not? What were they doing wrong? Like what was the biggest thing? It's like, 'cause,
Bro,
I
we
mean,
could
you're
sit,
at the
we
point
could
where
sit
you
here
can
for
look at
4
them.
fucking hours.
Let's
bro.
do it.
Bro. Shitty product pictures, shitty website, shitty creatives, no hype. They didn't run a pop-up. They fucking weren't... Bro, everything. It was
Okay, so
fucking
what-
terrible.
let's break it
Supply
down.
chain, their product quality was terrible.
Let's break it down.
Yeah.
If say there's a brand owner out there, right?
Yeah.
And they're same thing they're struggling with, taking pictures. What's like the best piece of advice where you're like, okay, insert Jared. I can give you this, 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 and then why did all of a sudden the pictures become better?
Bro,
Like, what
I
would
think,
you do?
I think really what it is they know that they suck,
Yeah.
but they're not like they almost need someone to tell them that they're just doing a shit job. Like I'll have people that we partner with send something in the group chat and I will immediately just be like, that's not good enough, do it again. And they'll be like, yeah, I kind of thought that. And it's
just like
like,
the
yeah,
accountability.
no shit, you fucking thought that. Like I can't believe, bro, yeah, these people, it's like they just need something. I don't know. People know when they're doing a fucking shit job. Like they knew that they were half-assing it. They're just lazy. It's like there has to be it's quality control. That's what it is. It's like we have a website. Is it a good website? No, but we have a website. It's like
Because they're like, oh,
Yeah.
well, I mean, it made us some money, so it's
Yeah.
okay, and then they don't want to change it.
Bro,
so then
yeah.
that's right back to the necessity. So, like, how do you operate out of necessity 24/7 so that you can apply that to all these brands that you work with? Because that's basically the biggest thing that you bring is it's like everything you do is perfect.
Yeah.
And you don't settle for less.
Absolutely,
If
yeah.
they know that they can apply that mindset, that quality control, and make more money,
yeah.
what do you do that allows you to do it that makes them be like, it's fine and just settle?
You're saying what do I do when I come in? Like where's the expectation
I
when
just
I come
kind of
in?
want to know, bro, because I mean, it's like always from you. It's like for me, I've got to always be in alignment with where I'm going and always reflecting. And it's like I'm envious, like in a good way. I respect it. I think that's why our dynamic is so good. It's because we're like polar opposites, but we have the same work ethic and the same drive.
Oh, yeah.
But you bring it out of nowhere. If I go out of my routine, if I slept into 11, I wake up and I just feel like shit. My mind's all out of whack. You wake up and I gotta get it done.
Yeah.
No matter what. You could make 100K yesterday, and then today you're like, I gotta get it done. You operate out of a constant necessity.
Yeah, bro. I mean, it's like we were talking on the balcony while we were smoking cigars. It's like, you have to be fucked up in the head. I think you said you were going to title this podcast like, are all entrepreneurs fucked up in the head? And I would say, yeah, like there has to be a little bit of something in you. And I think that grows too. Like, I don't think 19-year-old me who was trying to rip up a little dropshipping store or whatever was fucked up in the head. But I think like when you make exorbitant amounts of money as a young individual,
It's weird.
it really does something to your psyche where you're like, now it's like the standard keeps getting pushed higher and higher. And I know if I've already had this conversion rate on this website or I did this big of a drop with this brand, now it's like, I'm not going to allow somebody else's fucking laziness or incompetence get in the way of me ripping something as hard as I know it could go. So I think it's like for me, I leave no stone left unturned. There's nothing that can't be absolutely fucking perfect in the process. And anyone who's worked with me probably thinks I'm a fucking asshole. I've met a lot of people who...
But bro, at the end of the day, it's like everyone that's like, people are like, oh, Grant Cardone's an asshole.
Yeah.
Well, is he or does he just expect more?
Yeah.
Like, football coach be like, oh, Nick Saban's an asshole. Is he? Or
Yeah.
does he just expect
He wins,
more?
yeah.
He wins, right? And I think some people aren't willing to do that. So the 19-year-old you, right, when you're trying to run up a drop shipping store,
or
what
whatever
do
it
you...
was, 17, I don't know. I was just
Yeah,
using an example.
bro. I mean, I remember seeing the videos of you like 14 years old after school on the fucking school Chromebook, like ripping
Yeah.
up a drop shipping store. But
Yeah.
like,
bargain bikinis.
and you've been in the game way longer than me.
Yeah.
But Let me ask you this. I know, like, say you're doing like with Yell Yard, 100K days, like
Yeah.
$1 million a month, right? Like, what's the difference in the mindset between 19-year-old you who's just like trying to make a buck and $1 million month where you're still like, I need to push more.
Yeah.
I can't cut any corners. I got to push even harder. Like, we need to push 1% more conversion rate, right?
Yeah.
We need to scrape 37 more cents into our margin, like off like cost of goods.
Yeah.
Like, how do you continue pushing for that?
Yeah, dude, I think it's just like, I think it's because I know what's out there. Like having a relationship with Daniel, like from Guapi, having a relationship with these guys who were doing better than me. It's like, dude, it's like, oh, bro, I'm chasing something,
Yeah.
And it's like, I have to beat, and also I have to beat myself, bro. It's like, if I do worse with a brand the month, you know what I mean? A month after having a good month, it's like, that's fucking ridiculous. It's unacceptable. And I think I'm my own worst critic. I think that, like, it's not really about money now. 19-year-old me or 18-year-old me or whatever was worried about making money. Now I don't even know what the fuck I'm worried about, bro. It's like, I'm just worried about fucking winning. The money is just a scoreboard.
Yeah. So you think that builds the necessity? Is just like you're just constantly driven by like, you have to win.
I think it probably comes from lack as well. Like, if I think for many years of my life, and I'm sure we've talked about this before, like, the people who lacked the most in their early life, whether it be whatever the fuck you're going through, but an extreme amount of lack, I feel like, creates a void that nothing can fill. And I think that now it's just like a constant race to try to just like beat the lack, like the people who, the biggest entrepreneurs we know, what is that quote? It's like the genius and crazy or side by side or some shit like that. Yeah. I think that's really what it comes down to.
So, I mean, for me and you both, like, there's been a massive, like, transcendence of, like, we both can relate on the fact that, when we first made our first, like, 10K month.
Yeah.
Like, it was crazy just, like, being, and I mean, literally remember calling you and telling you about this, like, bro, I can, like, go to Chick-fil-A and, like, eat and, like, I don't have to be stressed out about it. Like, I can put the gas in my car and just, like, let it sit there and fill up $60. Because, like, I used to, like, take my girl on a date and spend the last $30 in my bank account just because I didn't want to look like a dickhead with no money.
Yeah.
And that really drove like a lack. And I feel like some kids are just okay with, they're like, oh, I'm only 18, it's gonna get better. But me, I was like fucking unacceptable.
Yeah, you had that anxiety.
Why is there another 18-year-old kid? Like, why is Jagger 1 year older than me and he's making $1 million and drives a fucking G-Wagon?
Yeah.
What is wrong with me?
Yeah.
And it's not healthy to compare yourself like that, but I don't give a like that's not what I'm
Fuck
fucking
healthy.
working.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm working towards, right?
Yeah.
I'm working towards being the best I can be. I don't fall asleep at the end of the night and be like, wow, my mental health. I fall asleep at the end of the night like, why the fuck didn't I push harder?
Yeah.
So what's that mindset switch that actually keeps you pushing on that? Because when you're doing $1 million a month, you're not really focused on the lack anymore, or are you? Like, are you still like remembering those nights and be like where's your mindset?
Yeah, I don't really think, like, you know me, I'm not stopping at a fucking stop sign, I'm running red lights, how that shit goes. But I'm not looking in the rear view at all. It's like, well, maybe I am. Maybe I'm running away. We talked about that yesterday with the rat. Like, am I running towards something or away from something?
I think both.
I think it's both, but I think personally for me, I think I'm running away. I'm running away from like a broke, skinny pussy. And it's like, a lot of these people out there, you're a broke, skinny pussy right now, or you're a broke, fat pussy. And it's like, are you okay with that? Like, I wasn't okay with that. I'm still not okay with it right now. I'm still struggling with that shit right now. But it's like being around John Mark and being around Jagger and getting around these people. Like, I was always a hard worker, but seeing the work ethic of these guys, I feel like we all kind of keep each other. I'm like, fuck, John Mark's doing this today. John Mark's thinking the same shit. It's like, it's something now where it's not out of necessity, but it's almost out of like assimilation. Like, we know what we are now. We are the men that we are now.
Now that we've seen the other side,
Yeah.
there's no going back, right?
No,
Because you go back, fast forward. So yesterday, me and Jared, we woke up at, I woke up at my normal time. Jared woke up around like 6. We sat down for like 10 or 11 hours
Yeah.
straight. I'm talking like when I got up from my computer, my legs were white and like my legs like felt numb, and I sat there all day and just ripped caffeine.
Yep.
Super unhealthy, but we literally worked for like a 10-hour block because I was getting this new offer up and just delivering it to my clients.
It was good focused work too.
It was
wasn't
great.
like bullshit work.
But being there with you, it was just like, bro, like if I get up like to, stretch my leg, bro, Jared's still fucking working. I don't want to get up. I'm not getting up first, right? And so it's like that pushes me to become greater. So I think that's the whole reason I moved down here to Miami, and why you're thinking about it too. Is it's like there's so many people online. It's like, oh, you just make all that money because you're insecure. Damn fucking right.
Yeah.
Of course, we all are.
Yeah.
If you're not insecure, like you don't have massive pain. If you come out the womb and you're jacked, why would you ever go to the gym and train super hard?
Yeah.
You never ever had pain. The reason you go to the gym and train and make yourself better, it's not because you're so happy with your life. It's because you don't like who you are. You don't. I'm sitting here with one of my elite clients, and like his transformation's been insane. He was super overweight. He looks nuts now. His name's David. You guys are probably gonna hear from him later. Absolutely insane, but that came from pain. That didn't come from him just being like, wow, I already love the way I look. Let me just go train really, really hard. It doesn't work like that. It came from pain. I'm making money because of the pain that I'm running from. I'm helping others because the pain that I know that they're in, and I can still relate to that, right? So how does it, that's why I come down here. Because where we are in Atlanta, like you were talking about earlier, like no one knows how much, like no one can conceptualize, like you made $80,000 this month on your computer and your what? Like they can't even comprehend it. So, but I come down here and I'm like, oh, that kid's 17 and he's driving a Ferrari.
Yeah.
That kid's my age and he's like 20 pounds heavier than me and he's more jacked. Who the fuck am I, right? It 100% stems from insecurity. So it's like 100%. What advice would you give out there to like, maybe the kid is like, again, 25, situation's not that good. Like how can they build their mindset if they don't really feel that necessity? Because it's so easy to numb it with your phone, bro. You can be broke, but like have access to your phone and YouTube all day and just numb that pain.
Yeah.
And that's
100%.
something that, before 20, even like 15 years ago wasn't a thing, right? If you were fucking broke, you couldn't watch some fantasy life, Andrew Tate Bugatti reel, right?
Yeah.
How do you create that from scratch?
Create like a want.
A necessity. Do you think it's possible?
Bro, I think like it's like we talk about, bro. If you're fucking sitting on your phone all day and you're broke and fat, you're fucking born to lose. More money for me. Like anyone out there can do it, but like we're telling you all this shit. If you're not thinking about it in your head, lose. Fucking lose.
Yeah. And I think that
more coffee and Adderall for me. Fuck you.
That's what so many people, I think they don't, and I get sick of that too, because I see like that's why I really think that Hormozi's content is like blown, because it's like he'll just say it. But it's like, okay, at the end of the day, here's the thing, right? You're fat. Your parents never, ever, ever gave you love. Maybe one of your parents died. Maybe both of your parents died, right? Maybe you literally have no money. You were given the worst genetics ever, right? All this, whatever the fuck they call it, black pill. I don't even know what that even is. Fucking degenerates. But maybe that is your situation, right? Maybe all the odds are stacked against you. Okay, your excuse is valid. You're right. You were born in the worst position. You were born to lose. You were born with no potential.
Tough shit.
Accept it. Or you stop complaining and you just put in the fucking work. It's like, I don't understand what the excuses are for from all of these people. It's like, okay, they're fighting to have their excuse validated, but your situation's not like me. When you wake up at 4:25, John Mark, it doesn't feel like I do because I work till 11. Okay, you're right. Don't wake up. Now what?
And also
more wins for me. That's literally it.
Yeah. Also, too, I was going to say, like, you may never get as rich as John Mark or as rich as Alex Hormozi, but if you don't try, like, trying your hardest, what does Andrew Tate say? Like, you cannot lose if you actually try your best. You might not get a Lamborghini, but your life will be better.
The flip side of the coin,
yeah,
you might shit on me.
Yeah.
And half the time,
yeah,
There's kids out there that I've seen that have made fucking, like that one guy. Dude's like 18.
Yeah.
Bro's like 120 pounds, and we're talking to him, and he's like, oh yeah, like we did 100K in 3 days, but that was just like off the back end. He's been in online business for like 6 months, and I'm like, 100K in 3 days on a back end of your offer?
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't know what the fuck your potential is.
Yeah.
You might sit here and be like, but this, but this, but this, but this. The depth of your struggle determines the height of your success. What if your horrible genetics reveal your extreme work ethic? What if your awful situation reveals your ability to connect to others because you've been through the same shit? And if you never try, you're just literally wasting energy. We are creatures of creation. We're supposed to pour out into other people. And if you're just sitting there being a fucking loser, like Jared said, let everyone else win.
Yeah.
You can get bitter or you can get better. It's your choice. And there's literally no other choice. To me, being bitter isn't even a choice. Because living every single fucking day like that, bro.
Yeah. I just want to say one thing for all those like fat losers. I'm not going to give you any advice on how to get better, but just drive your car in the far right lane on the highway so I can actually go fast. I'm tired of you fat fucks getting in my way. So just stay out of the fucking way. That's all I got to say. Bro, we could keep going. That's a clip. If you're born to lose, just get the fuck out of my way. That's good.
Okay.
We can't let them see that, or we can let them see that?
No, we can let him see that.
Good.
And understand that Jared
they
says
need
that
to
because he
understand
fucking cares, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I say this in all of my aggression talks, and people get so angry and upset, and I'm just like, bro, shame's the greatest motivator for men. I never once took action when somebody was like, oh, John Mark, it's okay. You'll get him next time, right? I took action when somebody was like, you're a fucking piece of shit. You've done nothing. You have no discipline. You're lazy. You can't communicate. You have no work ethic. It made me feel horrible in the moment. However, it motivated me to act. So Jared says that, and like, oh, some of you guys are like, that's awful. Why would you say that? If one kid goes out there and he decides, oh shit, Jared's right. What am I contributing to society? Oh shit, Jared's right. Who the fuck am I? And they go out and it causes them to reach their fullest potential. Then applauds to Jared for saying that. And that's the problem in today's society. They're trying to fucking soften men because they're like, oh, worry about your feelings. Dude, you'll be surprised at how insanely sufficient and how insanely skilled you'll become at just making yourself do the work when you stop worrying about how happy you feel on the inside or how good people are making you feel. When you only operate out of how much can I get done today? How much can I push myself? How much can I suffer and still wake up with a smile, ready to kill it the next day? The one thing that I think me and Jared have both come to the conclusion that you can break success down to is the people that win indefinitely are the ones who can go out, get slashed and slaughtered every single day in the battlefield of personal development, in the battlefield of business. Just lose their guts, bleeding out everywhere. But they're putting in effort, and they see no result from that effort. They see no victory from that effort. And the next day, they can set their alarm for 4 a.m., wake up with a smile on their face, ready to go all out and bleed again because they're so bought into the vision that they don't care how much blood they lose. They don't care how much they have to sacrifice. If you don't care how much risk you have to take and you bet on the fact that you know if you put 110% of your effort into something, you're gonna come out victorious, oh, motherfucker.
Dude, it's like
you'd be surprised at what you can accomplish.
This podcast is actually a perfect example of that because we got the videos back from yesterday. We looked at them. We were like, book it again tomorrow. Not good enough.
We sat for 2 hours. Flowed, not good enough.
Not good enough.
Let's do it again.
Fuck it. Another money out of the account. Book it again. Let's go. It just wasn't good enough. It's like Read it. I was fucking sad. Stayed up late last night. Like, fuck, that shit was ass. Waste of time, waste of money. Don't give a fuck. Next day. It's
Boom.
like, bro, it's like that quote that we always talk about. You cannot get too high in the highs and you cannot get too low in the lows.
Yeah, and I'll even wrap it up and say, bro, like, you guys have heard me say that, and I got that from Jared. The best piece of advice I ever got in my entire life. You can't get too high in the highs, and you can't get too low in the lows, right? When you decide to be extraordinary, when you decide to be like not average, when you decide to go all in on something, you've now gotten on, life is a roller coaster, regardless of if you get on the systems roller coaster or if you get on this roller coaster of business, entrepreneurship, personal development, whatever you are trying to do. When you get on the roller coaster of taking yourself to the next level in whatever your craft is, you're now getting on a roller coaster that has no predetermined height and it has no predetermined low. The roller coaster of life, when you just fall in line with college, you just listen to the rules, you let everyone else decide your future, 60 feet high, 60 feet low, 60 miles an hour max. You know exactly what's coming. Still might be scary when you're going fast. Still might be scary when you're going up in the air. There's going to be some pain. There's going to be some happiness. But it's limited. And you know exactly how far you're going to drop and exactly how high you're going to elevate. When you get on this roller coaster of taking yourself to the next level, you don't know how long you're going to be going down and spiraling down. You don't know how fast you're going to be going down. And that's the risk that you're taking. But the highs, absurd. Highs you could never, ever get. Like, it's not normal to make $15,000 in a day after 4 hours of work.
Yeah.
But if you get too high in that, it'll absolutely destroy you. The thing that you want will destroy you. And if you get too low the next day because you made no money and you didn't stay grounded on Jared's quote of not getting too high in the highs and not getting too low in the lows, it will destroy you. Yeah. So when you come into this game, you have to expect horrible, tremendous amounts of pain. But if you're able to modulate yourself and understand that you're not focused on the result, you're not focused on the pain, you're only focused on the inputs, holding on, moving forward every single day, building yourself better every single day, you'll become unstoppable. And I really think that that's what I wanted to get at, is like, that's your mindset. Like, now the reason you're able to do $1 million a month and just stay so grounded and like still tie up the loose ends, because it's like, people don't understand, like, when you make that much money, it's so easy to like sleep till fucking 3. There's other fitness coaches out there, they wake up at 3 and they copy me and do their push-ups and they're like, mindset and habits on lock. What is on lock, bro? You stayed up till 4 a.m. last night, right? I was up at 4 a.m. And it's like, waking up early doesn't determine your success. But being able to constantly stay focused on the input, no matter what you face, is what got Jared to being in the place that he's in now, bro. And I mean, I think like that advice might single-handedly be what took me to the next level. We just had to have a little cut. Jared needed a water and I needed to get a water. My mouth was dry. But yeah, I mean, really, at the end of the day, it's like, if we can send you guys, just like both of us, as, you know, Jared kind of like, even though he's not much older than me, like mentoring me as I came up and just like helping me through the process of keeping my mind straight and keeping me focused on just the work that I have to do instead of what I want to achieve financially. As long as you're fully focused on that, you can almost achieve anything, because there's a rewiring process that happens in your brain when, you know, originally, most of you guys probably even still associate fun with going out, seeing your friends, watching a movie, right? Drinking, smoking, hanging out with girls, right? All this stuff, which is like, you know, nothing wrong with hanging out with quality women, but
we know you love to.
That's why we import the ladies, because the ladies in Miami, it's just, woo.
It's tough out here.
Yeah, it's tough out here. But, you know, with that being said, like, as long as you're fully focused on where you're going, I mean, nothing can stop you. If you're willing to bleed, if you're willing to put in the effort, I mean, me and Jared are both testaments to that. Like, neither of us were supposed to win.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I used to spend my days like wake up, go to school, smoke my bong in the parking lot, go into school, sleep during school, wait till lunch, go eat a meal, and then go in my car and smoke again. Like, I just smoking weed. I had potential, but I was just fucking wasting it until I started building that necessity and focusing on, damn, who do I actually want to be? Instead of just like, what do I want to feel right now in this current moment? I realized that the only way for me to be successful and level up in life was to sacrifice in the present for myself in the future. And I really think that that's the key to both of our successes. It's like Jared always operates from necessity. Yeah. I always operate basically from necessity as well, because I've just created these delusions of I can't go back to how I was living. But when you constantly make the decision to not indulge in pleasure in the moment for long-term fulfillment, and just always focus on the input, knowing that the output is just it just comes with the input that you're giving, you'll literally be able to do anything. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you came from. With enough time and enough repetitions, you can do anything. And a big inspiration to me is just like, there's always someone, I guarantee you, that their problem was 10 times worse than you, and they've made it 10 times farther than you. And if they can fucking do it with all of that pain, with everything against them, from a third world country, you know, no parents, no relationships, no network, and they can still 100x their life, 100x their mindset, why can't you, you know?
Yeah, that's good. Good thing to end on. I just wanted to say there really is nothing different about me or John Mark. I knew John Mark before he was making a lot of money. He kind of knew me when I was in the early stages of making money. There's literally nothing special about us. The only thing special about us is that we just never stopped, never gave up, kept fucking putting the work in every day. Yeah.
That's the one thing is when I met Jared, because he told me, you know, I had like a stupid business at the time, like trying to sell some like candle product online, right? And he told me even just a couple months ago, he was like, oh, that shit, I knew that shit wasn't going to work. That was fucking retarded. And he was like, but I looked in your eyes and I knew that you had what it takes, because I was willing to do whatever.
Yeah.
And some people aren't willing to do whatever, but I'm telling you, obviously, I don't ever want to sacrifice my morals, but any type of effort, any type of sacrifice that it takes for me that puts me out of my comfort zone, any person that I have to, you know, get out of my life, no matter how uncomfortable it is, I'm always willing to sacrifice. And because of that, my potential to win will continue to increase.
Yeah.
100%. Boys, it's been a fire podcast. I want to hear in the comments what you guys think. If you guys have topics, there are so many people. My network is just massive right now. It's like exploding in Miami. So I'm going to be having entrepreneurs, coaches, real estate guys, you know, might even have a couple special forces guys on these podcasts. I'm trying to pull from every single solitary piece of talent, wisdom, experience.
Winners.
Yeah, just absolute winners. And that's who I want to surround myself with, and that's who I want to provide to you guys, because I know one of the biggest things to help me get where I was, besides like I was just talking about that risk factor, is I found people who I wanted to be like, and I modeled my life after them. Good influences, people that had done who I wanted to do, and I took wisdom from every single solitary piece of information that I could, and I think that that's a massive, you know, reason that I'm here today. So usually I end these videos in the car with a stay aggressive, but if you guys have been watching me for a long time, this is kind of like just a tribute to what I've come from. I really think that after today's podcast, it really just calls for me to go back to the OG outro and leave with this one thing. In a world full of pussies, stay aggressive.